Hello, I'm Kurma. Welcome to the Gourmet Vegetarian Cooking Video Encyclopedia. This edition, we're going to show you how to prepare all these drinks. Now, they're very simple to prepare, but at the same time, they're very exotic. We're going to begin with orange buttermilk smoothie, then anise milk with raisins and almonds, traditional rose lassi, strawberry lassi, banana lassi, mango lassi, salted lassi, pistachio milk with saffron, minted lemon whey nectar, ginger, orange, lemon and mint nectar, and rose sherbet. So I hope you're all thirsty. Let's begin. Lassis, traditional Indian yogurt smoothie drinks, some salty, some sweet, are ideal for cooling the body in those warm summer months. Yogurt itself has a fine curd which permits it to be easily absorbed into the digestive system. Thus, lassis made from yogurt are very light and very refreshing. So we're going to make a traditional rose lassi for a start. This is rose water, which is the essence of rose petals. And we're also going to use 3 cups of yogurt. Thick yogurt is nice. We've got 1 cup of iced water, 1/3 to 1/2 of a cup of sugar, and we're going to use 1/2 a tablespoon of rose water. So let's place it all together here in our blender. In goes the yogurt and the water, the sugar, and 1/2 a tablespoon of rose water. And let's blend it all together. Place lots of ice in your chilled glass. Pour in your frothy rose lassi. I like to fill it right up to the top and sprinkle some sugar on top just to give it a nice finishing touch. Strawberry lassi. You need 1 dozen ripe, juicy strawberries, 3 cups of yogurt, 1 cup of iced water, 1/2 a cup of sugar. Place them all in your blender. The riper and juicier the strawberries, the better. Let's not forget the water. Place lots of ice in your glass, which is pre-chilled. Strawberry lassi. This is a very popular lassi drink. And a garnish of strawberry on the top. Banana lassi. 2 ripe bananas, 1.5 cups of iced water, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, and 2.5 cups of yogurt. In goes the yogurt. I like to cut my bananas up first when I make banana lassi, otherwise sometimes they don't blend evenly. Of course, the riper the bananas, the better. My favourite bananas are the ones where you just have to peel the skin off and pour the banana out. And I like to add a pinch or two of fresh nutmeg. Nutmeg adds a very subtle aromatic flavour, and for this I'm using the fresh nutmeg kernel. Creamy banana lassi. Pour it into our chilled glass with ice cubes. Fill it right to the top. And finally we'll garnish it with a few sprinkles of nutmeg. Mango lassi. Now we're getting really tropical. We've got the pulp from 2 ripe mangoes. We've got 2 cups of yogurt, a cup of iced water, and a half of a cup of sugar. Actually, this lassi is one of my favourites. Of course, the riper the mangoes, the better. Once again, the mangoes should be really, really ripe. They're always the most flavoursome. Even if you have some mangoes which are brown and which aren't very presentable for things like fruit salads, you can save them aside and use them especially for preparations like this. Nice and frothy and foamy. Into the glass filled with ice cubes. Right to the top. And just finish it off with a sprig of fresh mint. Andrak Shantar Sharbat, orange, lemon, ginger and mint cooler. This one is a real refresher because we're putting in freshly squeezed ginger juice. This is our ginger here, a big chunk of ginger from Hawaii. Of course, I wouldn't recommend you use this much. You'll be laid flat for a week. But we've got here a little piece of ginger that we've peeled and we've shredded it up very fine. Now we've taken 1 teaspoon of this ginger and we've soaked it in 1 cup of warm water. Along with that, we've got 1/4 of a cup of mint, fresh mint leaves, 1/3 of a cup of honey. We've got 1/3 of a cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice and 2.5 cups of freshly squeezed orange juice. And also, we've got 1/8 of a teaspoon of cardamom. The cardamom has been peeled, the seeds have been taken out, they've been ground up very fine. The ginger in this drink helps to break down the fatty acids in the stomach, and the cardamom itself is a breath freshener. So this drink is not only very delicious, but very healthy. So let's begin by taking our mint leaves and placing them in the blender. Now you might wonder, how is it possible to blend up these mint leaves successfully? I've found the best thing to do, a little secret, is to, along with the mint, take a little bit of sugar, just sugar, no water, and when you blend it up, you'll find that all the mint gets smashed up with the sugar. So we're going to continue adding the other ingredients. Let's take our ginger. Now this has been soaking, so all the flavour of the ginger has gone into the water. We don't want, of course, the pulp, but we just want the juice. But you can add a little pressure here by squeezing any residue juice through the sieve. And we discard the pulp. Now we've got the honey. We've got the cardamom It's been ground up. Freshly squeezed lemon juice, freshly squeezed orange juice, and a good quantity of ice, a couple of scoops, and a bit more for, and let's blend it all up. This is a very colourful drink also. Orange, ginger, lemon and mint cooler. This is a real summer refresher. Piping hot saffron milk with pistachio nuts. This is a real winter nightcap. In India, milk is always taken steaming hot. So here we have 4 cups of boiling hot milk. Bring the milk to the boil. When the milk comes to the boil, and it's got a nice frothy head on it, then you can turn it off. Place a lid on to keep it warm. Now over here, we've got some pistachio nuts. We're going to grind them up to a powder. These, by the way, are raw, unsalted pistachio nuts. Now over here, we have some saffron thread. Here's our Spanish saffron. A dozen saffron strands, which should be ground up very fine. Now, all we need to do is combine all the ingredients. We've got our saffron, and of course, we're going to add a little sugar. Going to stir it up, make sure the sugar's dissolved and the saffron's folded in, like so. Very aromatic, wonderful to take before taking rest at night. And I always found that saffron milk is wonderful when it's served in beautiful silver cups called lotus. When you're invited to an Indian gentleman's home, in the evening time he'll offer you hot milk, and most often it's served in these little silver lotus. And it's sipped ever so slowly and taken steaming hot. And all that needs to be done now is to sprinkle on liberally the pistachio nuts, saffron milk with pistachio. Here's something to do with all that whey that's most probably been accumulating in your kitchen since you started to make curds and whey. Because after all, when you make curd, 9/10 of the milk turns into whey. I know I have gallons of whey floating around in my fridge from time to time. But here's something to do with all that whey. We're going to make a minted lemon whey nectar. Now you might ask, what's a lemon whey? Well, of course, the big ones weigh more than the small ones. But seriously though, minted lemon whey nectar is a very easy to prepare drink using whey fresh mint and lemon juice. Whey contains all the water-soluble vitamins from the milk as well as the lactose. To half a cup of whey, we're going to add the juice from 2 large lemons, which I've just been squeezing. If you like, you can just make sure you get all that juice. Alternatively, of course, you can use limes for this recipe, if they're in season. Now, over here, we have some mint leaves. I've added a little brown sugar just in order to be able to grind them properly. As you can see, when you add a little sugar, it's very easy to mince up the mint as long as you can keep the mortar and pestle steady. Like so. So we've got also 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm going to add a little bit of this mixture here to the mint. So we can get it all out of the mortar. There's our mint in there. Let's add that to the water. And to that, I'm just going to add a little bit of crushed ice. Minted lemon and whey nectar. So we're dry roasting here some cumin seeds. We've got half a teaspoon. They've just been dry roasted nicely. These are going in our salty lassi. This is something a little different. Let's open up our spice grinder here. As you recall, you can tell when the cumin seeds are well roasted, when the aroma of the cumin seeds comes out. Let's grind these up for a few seconds until they're nicely powdered. So there's our half of a teaspoon of freshly roasted cumin seeds, which have been nicely ground up. They have a very nutty flavour. Over here, we've got our 3 cups of yogurt, we've got 2 cups of iced water, and we're going to put in a teaspoon of this salt and 2 tablespoons of this freshly squeezed lemon juice here. Okay, so let's pop it all together. The yogurt, we've got a teaspoon of salt, a couple of tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. This really adds to the piquancy of this lassi. We've got our water and our dry roasted, freshly ground cumin seeds. Let's give it a blast. Salty lassi, just the thing for a hot summer's day with a sprinkle of cumin. Tandai, anise milk with raisins and almonds, is a very popular North Indian spicy fruit and nut milk drink. For this, you need half a cup of raisins that have been soaked in 1.5 cups of warm water for 10 minutes, half a teaspoon of ground cardamom, half a teaspoon of dry roasted, then ground anise seeds, 4 tablespoons of honey, quarter of a cup of blanched almonds, they can be whole or they can be slivered, 2 cups of milk. And all you have to do now is to pop them all in a blender. In go the raisins and the milk. In goes the cardamom powder, the anise powder, the almonds and the milk. And the honey. Like so. And now we blend it all together. There, that's done. Now what we have to do now is we have to pour it through a sieve just to get out any of the little lumps of raisins or bits and pieces that are floating around there, like so. You need a little fine strainer. If necessary, you have to just help it through a little bit with a little spoon, like so. This is a very popular drink in North India. It's taken, generally speaking, with a full thali or full meal, taken in little glasses, and it has to be chilled before it's served. So after we do this, we're going to pop it in the fridge, and then in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to take it out and we're going to serve it. And here it is, chilled and ready to serve. Anise fruit and nut milk drink. Orange buttermilk smoothie drink. Here's our buttermilk. Buttermilk is in fact, a commercially made soured milk product, and it actually helps to stimulate the digestive enzymes in the stomach. So this orange buttermilk drink we're going to make is actually very refreshing and also very good to take with a full meal. So let's get our blender here. Pour in 2 cups of buttermilk, 2 cups of freshly squeezed orange juice, and a little sweetener if you like, 2 tablespoons of, we've got some turbinado raw sugar here, you can use honey, and some ice. Let's blend it all up. And here it is, orange buttermilk smoothie. This is one of my most favorite drinks. And we're going to pop a little bit of orange on the side there, just to top it off. Rose sherbet. Here's another interesting drink to make with rose water. Take 4 cups of water, add 3 cups of sugar, add 2 teaspoons of pure edible vegetable food dye, red color, add 2 tablespoons of citric acid, and, most important, 2 tablespoons of pure rose essence. Now this is a concentrate to which you're going to be adding water and ice. Very simple combination of things here. The rose gives it that very fruity flavour, and the citric acid gives it a bit of a tingle. And you're going to just refrigerate this concentrate. By the way, this water had just come off the boil in order to dissolve the sugar. Dissolve in all the sugar by stirring, and then transfer it into another container, place it in the fridge, and when it's cold, take it out and pour it into a jug with lots of iced water, and you're ready for a summer refreshing drink. So you can make these and many other variations of drinks using all of the natural ingredients and bounties of the earth that God has provided. So here's to your health and happiness.